As my boyfriend got down on one knee, I squealed in excitement. He soon doubled over, as the poison finally took hold. Since the strange winged creature had been stalking me for days, I ambushed it tonight and wrung its freak neck. "I'm your guardian angel," he choked out with his dying breath, as demonic shapes began to take form in the shadows around us. The monster stared back at me, and licked the blood of my loved ones off its fingers. The mirror in my bathroom was always the most flattering, I thought, as the sound of approaching police sirens cut through the night. World War III has started, and they have started to launch nuclear weapons. I just wish that I went with the rest of my family to Mars. To focus on the present, you must clear your mind of your troubles, lock them away, said the lady in the yoga video. My muscles start to relax as I hear my boss screaming inside the freezer. My neighbor frantically pounded on my door telling me he saw a monster in the woods behind my house. So, he's the one who saw me without my suit on. I've finally tricked and put down the only great beast not yet in my collection. My old hunting partner's head will fit perfectly above my fireplace. My twin brother was zombie bit, and though I sobbed as I watched his eyes cloud over, I knew what needed to be done. My sobs became screams as the hacksaw bit into flesh and I began the task of unconjoining. "Wait, I thought you had left for work, Mom? Seems like it will be a work from home today, dear," she replies as she shows me a photo of mine, marked with a red X. My throat tightened as I ate another peanut. But after 39 days, I thought, itching the hives on my chest, I had to eat something. Woken up by a violent coughing fit that shook my ribcage, I recoiled in horror when I saw matted locks of white hair spilling out of my mouth. Hands trembling, I tried to yank them out, only to retch when I felt something tugging at the inside of my stomach. My uncle proudly regurgitated that tryptophan was what made you sleepy after eating turkey. "That's not the only thing," I smiled as he, and the rest of my wretched family, slowly drifted off to forever. The dog nearly choked itself trying to reach me. Another week without food may teach it some manners. When my girlfriend told me she was pregnant, I was excited but also scared because I felt that I barely knew her. That fear was nothing compared to what I felt when she laid the egg. The groaning metal reverberated throughout the sunken car as the water level slowly raised within. I desperately held my head underwater, hoping to drown before that thing managed to get through the door. My girlfriend unexpectedly called me at 12 o'clock last night, which was odd, so I stayed on the phone with her until she finally went to bed at 3 in the morning. I texted her, saying that her calling me for so long was nice, and she replies, "I don't know what you're talking about, I slept all night." My boyfriend checked up on me at the room upstairs while I was drunk and in the brink of being unconscious. The last thing I remember before dozing off was 3 guys entering the room asking my boyfriend if I was fast asleep. I freaked out when I saw my girlfriend using a needle to make a hole in a condom. The fact that I was wearing it already didn't help at all. I stuck the knife in my belly to kill whatever I was pregnant to. Too late I noticed that whatever was inside of me, was just setting itself free. I was home alone watching films in my room when my cursor started moving randomly. It was too late when I realized I left my wireless mouse on the dinner table. After 3 weeks of hell, I called the head researcher and told her I could no longer participate in the drug trial, as my night terrors had progressed to hallucinations and blackouts. She was silent a moment, and then quietly advised me that I had been in the placebo group. My mother always said sewing can fix anything. Gazing at the abomination in front of me, I smiled gently. They always said their marriage was broken. The takeover was subtle, and they try to infiltrate control of your bodies in an involuntary way. Like making you aware of your breathing, in and out, your blinking, open and close, and thinking. We have you. To be a young and pretty girl is considered by many to be a blessing. As the wicked woman drains me of my blood to enrich her youth, I wished I hadn't received that curse. When I woke up from my 5 years coma, they told me it was a miracle I could have given birth to my baby while unconscious and that he was a healthy and nice 4 years old. I was ecstatic until I realized I did not recall ever having sex. I woke up in the middle of the night to a lullaby my mom was singing by my sister's bed. It was only when I heard the blood-choked gargles my sister's body was making that I realized that that was not my mom. I found a note in the ground that said, "Help. I don't know this man. I don't know where he's taking me. Glad I found before someone tried to get in my way. As the waiter gave me my food, I was horrified to see a hair on it. I thought they were supposed to shave all the humans' heads bald. What a terrible restaurant. All the Zoom participants watched in horror as our colleague was stabbed over and over again. In another shock, we quickly tried to turn off our cameras as the stabber climbed over the screen border to another Zoom participant and started stabbing his second victim. I naively thought if I buried my dad with a walkie-talkie we could still talk. It's just so hard to hear what he says with all those people in the background screaming. When I woke up in the morning, I realized I had left my window open. My worst fear was confirmed when a pair of hands stopped me from closing it. When the kidnapper made me guess where he kept my daughter, I went for the basement and he said correct, allowing me to see her. But when I found her severed head in there, I learned that every other choice would have been correct as well. A guy just ran up to me while screaming that somebody had locked him in a basement, blindfolded him, and starved him for days. You should have seen the look of absolute horror on his face when he recognized my voice. A genie granted me my wish, to become the most beautiful woman in the world forever. Now I sit here in a museum, frozen in a painting for the past 500 years, as people passing by admire and fawn over my timeless beauty. Please like and subscribe, and tap the notification bell icon below to get notified of more Reddit DTS videos. This is Reddit Joe channel. Your everyday Reddit.